Coming up on AgweekTV, a Minnesota community comes together to combat mental health issues in children. We take a deep dive into estate planning on the farm. A North Dakota doctor gives back to a rural community through medicine. And Farmal celebrates 100 years by gifting a new tractor to a 3-time cancer survivor. Welcome to AgweekTV. I'm Emily Beal. Mental health is a big issue in rural areas, especially among young people. In this week's AgWeek cover story, we visit one small Minnesota community that is doing something about it. When a community health needs assessment in 2019 showed a 52% of Fraze, Minnesota high school juniors felt depressed or hopeless, and nearly 25% had considered suicide, people in the town knew they had to do something. Karen Pyler runs the health assessments for a 5-county region, and she wanted to help her hometown. So they opened the Cornerstone Community and Youth Center in the basement of a former church. Kids gather for activities like art, theater, music, cooking, and games.
You know, they're caring more about each other. They care more about the community. They're giving back. And as all of that's happening, we're seeing a change on the community side as well. But I think people are inspired. You know, people are like, good things are happening. We want to give back too.
Kids said they didn't feel like their community cared about them. Well, now they can see these different adults are coming. They're making pillows with them. They're bringing in sewing machines. They're doing arts and crafts, or simply just being here to hang out. And I think that shows them, oh, it's not just my mom and my grandparents that care about me.
The group gathered $250,000 in grants for the center, which opened 6 months ago. Student Duke Zeiniger loves having a place to go when school's out.
There's a lot of good things, like just hanging out here in general is pretty good. I spent most of my summer here because I was doing workout stuff at the high school, but I really just like it because then I would have something to do all day.
The Minnesota Student Survey is done every 3 years, and Cornerstone organizers say they expect to see a big improvement in the next survey. How do you ensure your farm makes it to the next generation? Our December AgWeek special report looks at estate planning and why it's important.
Deciding what to do with a family farm can be a daunting task. Jolene Brown, a farmer from West Branch, Iowa, is a professional speaker and family business consultant, helping families create business plans for their ag operations. She says it's all about having a plan in place.
I love to remind them that you need to do things with it when the times are good, or you're going to have fighting on the way to the funeral home when the times get tough.
When passing down a family business, open conversation is key.
Silence is the greatest destroyer of a family and a business. When are you going to communicate this? Is it during your lifetime while you've got people walking alongside you, or is that the reading of the will? Surprise! The
farm or ranch has to operate as a business.
If you don't do this and everything is not business oriented about the business, it's a hobby. And there's no problem if you want it to be a hobby, but you can't count on it for decision making and profitability and productivity. So by honoring the business, you truly honor the family.
You have to have a plan on how to handle conflict when it arises on your operation.
A number of times I have mom call me and she's in the middle trying to keep peace in the family. And so I have to remind her that keeping peace in the family may just start the war, because she didn't cause the problem. She can't change the problem. She can't control it. And so she has to give it back to the people who have the problem. And so I actually have them practice with me of how they get themselves out of the middle.
It's also important that the senior generation is financially secure first by seeking help from a certified financial planner.
You know, they will never relinquish control if they're not financially secure, because you're dinking with their security. Well, what about me? You want to buy more land? Well, what about me? You want more equipment? Well, what about me? And this means you need an advisor called a certified financial planner. How do you know that you're really going to be okay? Especially when even agriculture, we didn't want to pay salaries because who's going to pay that Social Security stuff, right? And all of a sudden we want to transition. Where's our income going to come from? Where's our security?
You can learn more about Brown or have her help you build a plan for your family business by visiting her website, jolenebrown.com. A West Central Minnesota farmer has been planning his retirement transition for about 15 years, and he has some very specific ideas about the next owners of his small farm. Dave Lindig didn't grow up on a farm, but he had the opportunity to buy this one near Fergus Falls as a young adult. He raises grass-fed beef on 177 acres of rolling hills along the Otter Tail River. Now he wants to help some emerging farmers get their start. He doesn't want to sell to a single owner, and he doesn't want to sell it to somebody who already has land.
Somebody like me that came here and I didn't have land before. And so the thrill of it is, to me, is the fact that I didn't have land was just unbelievable. And if I could spread that to other people, that would be nice. And
in addition to farming, Lindig had a career as a teacher and a coach. Up next on AgWeek TV, Minnesota farmers reach a big milestone in protecting the state's water.
When it comes to grain storage and handling solutions, one call does it all. Gateway Building Systems is one of the largest Brock bin dealers in the U.S. Our expert team is dedicated to creating a customized plan for your future success. Expanding your operation has never been easier with our range of Brock solid bins, grain dryers, conveyors, and more. As your trusted partner, we are committed to serving the needs of farmers. Take the first step toward success and call Gateway Building Systems today.
Integrity, excellence, teamwork. At Titan Machinery, we take care of our team. Whether you are an experienced technician or looking to start your career, Titan has a spot for you. Earn a competitive pay with the potential to make in excess of 6 figures. Service techs, come grow with a company that invests in you. Titan Machinery offers company HSA and 401k contributions, free single healthcare, and a generous tool allowance. Plus, we'll provide all of your uniform and safety gear. Apply today at titanmachinery.com/careers.
There's no easy button, no guarantees, or promises of a good year. This is farming. It's unpredictable and demanding, with long days and sometimes stressful nights. It's weathering the storms and coming out successful. Farming isn't for everyone. We thank those who make it their life, because it is for everyone.
Getting down to business on the farm means hitting the office early, making sure your team's ready to go, getting updates from the field, and talking with your management team. At Bremer Bank, we understand the business of farming and how to protect and grow your operation, so you can be sure your present and your future are in good hands.
The Minnesota Ag Water Quality Program has reached a big milestone in protecting the state's water. 1 million acres are now certified in the project. It's a voluntary effort with 1,400 farmers enrolled. It helped them implement conservation practices on their land that enhances water quality and can even add revenue streams through the use of cover crops and other practices. Jim Lane, a certification specialist with the program, says the application process is fairly simple and there may be financial help for farmers.
So yeah, there's a lot of benefits to our state of Minnesota where we've got some wonderful water resources, and we want to protect the groundwater, surface water, recreational waters, and that's the goal, where our farmers can prove it up that they are doing good things to protect water quality.
Governor Tim Walz set the 1 million acre goal in 2020. Program facilitator Brad Jordal Redlin works in the pesticide and fertilizer division of the Minnesota Ag Department. He says there are big benefits to the program well beyond the acres involved.
These are the kind of results that we're bringing to our land and frankly to the rest of the citizens of our state.
Redlin says while the 1 million acre goal has been reached, they hope it continues to grow and they plan to keep it voluntary. Farmers and ranchers are facing some tough issues, including packer concentration, meat labeling, and the right to repair. Those are just some of the topics speakers tackled at the South Dakota Farmers Union annual convention.
Questions were flying as producers voiced their concerns to this panel of industry leaders.
The packer concentration is just a huge problem for us. Four major packers killing most of the cattle, and they've just got so much total control over us. All the cattle feeders are at their mercy. There's no competitive markets left anymore. They give us what they feel like they're going to give us that day, and that's all there is.
Michael Cades from the United States Department of Justice was also on the panel, so South Dakotans could voice their concerns directly to those working to make change.
That's where the Department of Justice comes in. If they feel that, and I hope they do, find that there is manipulation in the markets, there is pricing monopoly there, that not only maybe break them up with a way to keep our markets open and successfully keep processing beef, because we can't just break them up. We got to have a way to do it with and keep the supply chain going, but at least let them know that, hey, you better start playing fair or we will be breaking you up.
Michael couldn't really answer a lot of the questions simply because of pending cases and such. So, it was, I wouldn't say it was frustrating that people understood, but I think the thing that people really liked is the fact that we're finally having these discussions. It seems like there's some movement forward.
Right to repair was also a topic of discussion.
If we just had access so that we could, a lot of times it's a simple fix. As soon as they plug in their software, they find out it's a sensor somewhere, and it might be a $15 sensor. It takes you 10 minutes to replace. And if we just had that ability to have that software on our own so that we can quickly identify and fix our equipment.
You can hear what Michael Cades had to say in response to some of these questions and concerns at AgWeek.com. Could hybrid rye be a sustainable food source for cattle? That's the question researchers at South Dakota State University Extension are working to answer. They found hybrid rye is cheaper than corn and can work well in finishing and backratting cattle diets.
And what we found was that, well, number one, they would eat it. That was one of our first concerns. And secondly, at that 1/3 replacement, or about 20% of the total diet, the performance wasn't different from the corn control. Same gain, same feed efficiency, only using a feedstuff that's valued at less than what corn is in the marketplace.
Rushi says rye should be introduced slowly in place of corn. Ahead on AgWeek TV, we'll meet a brand new doctor who's making her career in rural North Dakota.
Dear Dave, thanks for the early order.
The story of a farm is the story of a family. From generations past to generations to come, families have raised their children on the crops that sustain our country on the same fields. Today, with a better nitrogen, farmers can continue to take care of what matters most: the land they work and the people they do it with.
So in 2017, RTD developed a thing called Whip Drain, and it is a drainage and aeration platform for many types of stockpiles. Sand or aggregates, sugar beets or potatoes. We can drain the water away from the product, and we can also force air into the platform and aerate the whole bottom of it. We've designed it so you can operate 988 cat loaders. I think they weigh about 140,000 pounds. Whip Drain is engineered to withstand that type of treatment.
A farmer's work is never done. You're not just planting a seed or harvesting a crop. You're growing a legacy. When you're up before dawn and out long past dusk, you need a banker who will work with your schedule, not the other way around. At Choice, we do banking differently, giving farmers like you time back to focus on what really matters. Choice Bank, top North Dakota Ag Bank for 10 years running, and always people first.
Hi, Bill Kelsey here, Geringhoff Territory Manager, covering northern Minnesota and the Dakotas. At Geringhoff, we offer a full line of the best harvest headers and residue management systems on the market.
Contact me today to discuss your farm's needs. From there, I'll connect you with an authorized Geringhoff dealer.
AgWeek weather is sponsored by Bremer Bank. Connect with a banker today at bremer.com.
Can we expect some chillier weather to make its way into the region? Here's Jared with our agri-weather outlook.
The weather we've been having here across the northern plains and upper Midwest has been very mild for the start of December, and it looks like it'll hold that way over the next 2 weeks or so, at least over the next week and a half. Generally looking quite warm. The cooler weather may be down near the coastlines in the south, where they'll have some wet weather as well, where up here we may be experiencing some dry weather in the next 2 weeks. For the most part. Taking a look at the U.S. drought monitors, parts of the Central Plains all the way up through Minnesota and parts of the Red River Valley still kind of in that dry to moderate right now, and even severe on the eastern side of Minnesota as well. So that's the way things are shaping up here. But from Williston, Dickinson, Minot, Bismarck, and approaching parts of the Red River Valley, not too bad anyway as we're looking here. There are a few spots that are a little bit drier from that moderate to even severe up in northeastern parts of North Dakota through parts of Minnesota as well. Let's get into the next couple of weeks here. This is the 6 to 10 day outlook. Looking dry for the western portion of the U.S. That does kind of spill into parts of our area, the Midwest, and even dipping down toward the coastlines. Only some folks are expected to have a little wet weather here down near Miami and even the southern parts of Texas. So for the lower 48, the general outlook over the next 6 to 10 days is looking rather dry for us. The Clipper systems that we're seeing in our forecast may stay a little bit farther up toward the north, and any larger systems kind of impacting down toward the south. Temperature outlook with this, we're looking above average over the next 6 to 10 days. Although temperatures may feel a little bit cooler on some days, we're still expected to be just a little bit above average, where down toward the south there along the Gulf, we'll be looking a little bit below average. Here's a little closer look at what's going on with the northern plains and upper Midwest. The gray shaded area, kind of equal chances, just kind of dependent on all these systems that kind of slide on through, if any of those do move by parts of the Central Plains. Temperature outlook for the next week, looking above average and almost bullseyeing parts of the Dakotas and Minnesota here. So that's what we've been talking about. We've been seeing this kind of that, the 15th through the 20th, potentially just staying very warm here coming up. And that even dips all the way down toward the southern plains, where then there's some equal chances to get down southern half of Texas toward the southeast as well. But as I mentioned, this almost bullseyes parts of our area over next week. So that's kind of that 10 to 14 day outlook here as we head toward mid parts of December. Precipitation outlook for the same time frame is looking below average in terms of precipitation here for the Dakotas, Minnesota, and then parts of the Midwest as well, where any of the larger systems may move out of Colorado and stay down toward the south, giving a little better shot at above average precipitation down from Texas up through the Central Plains. But up here next week, still looking rather dry for us, and with the warm weather, actually will just stick to being more of the same, which we've had. So that month of December, precipitation outlook, generally speaking here for parts of the Dakotas and Minnesota, looking to stay below average, where some of the coastlines may end up having a little bit more on the wet weather side.
Risk management is not just for the grains. Livestock producers, did you know you too can protect the price for your production? Livestock Risk Protection, or LRP for short, is a great tool to help you protect the price of your calves. Cattle producers can also protect their pasture and hayland from lack of rainfall with Pasture Rangeland Forage, or PRF insurance. This is a very affordable way to help producers in times of below average rainfall. Call the risk management specialist, Martinson Ag Risk Management.
Some things in life are hard. That's why banking shouldn't be. Cornerstone Bank.
Attention farmers, increase your revenue and prevent compaction from squeezing your profits with PTG's Central Tire Inflation System, now offered at OK Tire and Service. All controlled from the tips of your fingers, ensuring increased yield and improved fuel economy by adjusting your tire pressure within minutes. You are ensuring the best performance from your tractor on the field and off the field, compatible with any radial tire. Call the OK Tire team today or visit oktireinc.com to learn more.
It was October 1st, 2009. We needed some machinery for the farm. We decided to see if we could become a dealer, and that's kind of grown into what it's been today.
We offer basically anything short line.
seed tenders, fertilizer spreaders, sprayers. We can really set ourselves apart by the knowledge we have in those things, by the amount of units we have on hand at all times.
I just have a passion for helping people, getting to know people. It just becomes a lot of fun.
There's no easy button, no guarantees, or promises of a good year. This is farming. It's unpredictable and demanding, with long days and sometimes stressful nights. It's weathering the storms and coming out successful. Farming isn't for everyone. We thank those who make it their life, because it is for everyone.
Childhood health problems led a Grand Forks doctor to her career in healthcare. Dr. Ashlyn Kamrath says the talented physicians who helped her made her want to help others in rural areas.
Well, I knew I wanted to do something in medicine since I was a little kid.
Dr. Ashlyn Kamrath was born at Altru Hospital in Grand Forks, where she now practices. She says she had health challenges throughout her childhood, which formed her interest in medicine.
It was a rough experience, but it was a great staff and everybody. So definitely helped mold me.
At UND's medical school, Kamrath learned about the ROAM program, or Rural Opportunities in Medical Education, which gives her the chance to practice close to where she grew up, near Lakota. She says it was an easy decision to move to Devil's Lake to focus on OBGYN and women's health.
When I found out that they had such a robust family medicine practice so close to home, it was pretty much a no-brainer. But then actually getting to go and work with the staff there, all the providers there are amazing.
Kamrath says it's important to be able to provide the same level of care as a bigger facility.
These people need access to care just like everyone else in a big city. Rural medicine and rural health is that opportunity to provide care to everyone. And it's important to have the equipment, the facilities, and the staff so that we can continue to provide the same level of care that you would in a bigger city.
Kamrath says knowing her patients better and having care closer to home is better for everyone.
When you have a strong community with a strong healthcare system, everyone thrives.
Dr. Kamrath will start in Devil's Lake in August. North Dakota State University Extension is welcoming a new Sugarbeet specialist. Eric Branch grew up in Alexandria, Minnesota on his family's fruit and vegetable farm. After getting his bachelor's from the University of Minnesota, Branch then got his graduate degree from Cornell University, where he closely studied table beets. Branch will help support sugar beet growers in the region.
Here in the Red River Valley, Minnesota and North Dakota, sugar beets are a huge part of the agricultural landscape. We've had a long history of sugar beet production in the region. What really interested me is the support for the industry from the university and from the allied industries.
Branch is excited about this year's record sugar beet harvest, believing it is a direct reflection on management practices the region's growers use on their acres. Up next on AgweekTV, a lucky farmer wins a new tractor with a moving story about farming, how farming helped him heal.
For home delivery of AgWeek, log on to agweek.com or call 800-811-2580.
When it comes to grain storage and handling solutions, one call does it all. Gateway Building Systems is one of the largest Brock bin dealers in the U.S. Our expert team is dedicated to creating a customized plan for your future success. Expanding your operation has never been easier with our range of Brock solid bins, grain dryers, conveyors, and more. As your trusted partner, we are committed to serving the needs of farmers. Take the first step toward success and call Gateway Building Systems today.
So in 2017, RTD developed a thing called Whip Drain, and it is a drainage and aeration platform for many types of stockpiles. Sand or aggregates, sugar beets or potatoes. We can drain the water away from the product, and we can also force air into the platform and aerate the whole bottom of it. We've designed it so you can operate 988 cat loaders. I think they weigh about 140,000 pounds. Whip Drain is engineered to withstand that type of treatment.
Hi, Bill Kelsey here, Geringhoff Territory Manager, covering northern Minnesota and the Dakotas. At Geringhoff, we offer a full line of the best harvest headers and residue management systems on the market.
Contact me today to discuss your farm's needs. From there, I'll connect you with an authorized Geringhoff dealer.
Getting down to business on the farm means hitting the office early, making sure your team's ready to go, getting updates from the field, and talking with your management team. At Bremer Bank, we understand the business of farming and how to protect and grow your operation, so you can be sure your present and your future are in good hands.
Grain handling and storage projects done efficient, reliable, and hassle-free. With the one-stop shop of advanced grain handling systems. Get better test weights and less crop damage with their continuous mixed-flow grain dryers from Grain Handler and Nico. Get grain bins built to last from West Steel and Sioux Steel. Advanced Grain customizes each project to maximize your farm production. Contact Advanced Grain Handling Systems in Mayville for a free quote and site consultation.
The Farmal company celebrated its 100th anniversary by giving one lucky farmer a tractor. Steve Wilson of Rochester, Minnesota won a new Farmal Utility 75C tractor and $15,000. He beat out nearly 8,500 other contestants with a moving video about how farming helped give him comfort while battling cancer 3 times in 1 year.
For me, one of the greatest emotional healing processes coming out of cancer was to get on that little Farmal loader tractor and do some work. When I did that, I was normal again, and it was great.
This isn't their first Farmal. Wilson's family still has his dad's original tractor. Bull sale season is right around the corner, and this year AgWeek is showcasing the genetics the region has to offer and much more in our AgWeek Bull Sale Guide. The guide features beef, cattle, health, and nutrition information, along with ag industry news and education. The AgWeek Bull Sale Guide will be distributed to more than 50,000 beef producers across 7 states, making it a premier advertising opportunity to get your ag business in front of an audience. The AgWeek Bull Sale Guide will get your business in front of a targeted audience in the months to come. Book your ad by December 13th to be included in this January publication. Stories you'll only see on AgWeek.com and in AgWeek magazine this week. Red River Valley farmers have increased their yellow potato acreage to keep up with consumer demand. And the Minnesota government has responded to EPA concerns about water quality. We appreciate you watching AgWeek TV. Remember to check us out daily on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok to keep up on all your ag news. Have a wonderful week, everyone.